Before we begin, this podcast is proudly brought to you by DubaiView, your boutique luxury real estate partner. We deliberately keep our family of clients small because we believe in building relationships, not just closing deals. If you are looking for your dream home in Palm Jumeirah, Emirates Hills or Dubai Hills Estate, we should talk. Head to our website for a free consultation. Let's find your perfect Dubai home together. Now back to our conversation. Welcome back to another DubaiView podcast. Today joined by the Associate Director of Haus Haus, and he's well known as the Dubai most trusted real estate advisor. He's over 2 decades in the Dubai real estate market, very well known for his high network sales transaction, and he witnessed and experienced by himself the evolution of the Dubai real estate landscape. Thank you for having you here, Steven Leckie.
Thank you, Mario. Lovely to meet you.
It's a pleasure to having you here, learning a lot from a person who's more than 20 years into the Dubai real estate market, and talking with you today about your journey and as well about the Dubai real estate market. So in there, I want to start first. I heard that you start in London selling Bentleys and Rolls Royces.
That's kind of what I was doing before I came here, but I discovered recently, because I was doing my CV for some reason, not because I'm looking for another job, but because I'm doing some tax things in the UK, and you have to tell them where you've been working for the last 30 or 40 years. And I realized that I hadn't actually sold Rolls Royce and Bentleys for that long. It was about 2 years, and prior to that, it was Porsche for many years. In fact, my first job in sales was selling Porsche. Can you imagine?
Amazing.
I know.
German brand.
Well, yeah. Not so much now, but yeah.
Yeah, everything changes.
Everything changes, yeah. No. But so yeah, I started off by selling Porsches. That was my first sales job. Although prior to that, I was working in restaurants in London, working for like 6-9 months, and then spending all my money that I've saved up traveling around the world. And then it was Porsches and Land Rover, Range Rover, Mazda. And then eventually I got into selling Bentleys and Rolls Royces. And then shortly after I joined, Rolls Royce and Bentley split up. And then it was just Bentleys. Yeah. It's a good experience, great experience.
Amazing. So still in the sales. So what gave you the journey from selling Rolls Royces, Bentleys, Porsches to become the Associate Director of Haus Haus?
Interesting. I always think about this. I'm incredibly lucky, basically. It wasn't, I never sat down at any point in my life and said, right, this is what I want to do. But when I was in London, I often thought about and considered, because some of my clients, Bentley buyers and Porsche buyers, were real estate agents. And I thought about getting into the business in the UK, in London, and then found out that actually the salaries are really low and the commissions are even lower. And also making a career change into that business when you're sort of approaching middle age, 35, 40 years old, etc., it wasn't really going to be doable for me. It would have taken a big chunk out of my income, etc., to go and relearn this business. Anyway, long story short, I sold a car to a young Indian guy who told me he lived in this place called Dubai. And then for the next 2 years, he kept saying, come and work for me. I'm setting up a car business. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And he sold me the dream. But I was really happy in London. And the Bentley GT, as you probably know, that was just about to be launched.
Amazing.
So, the numbers were going to be amazing. But then a few things happened, and he invited me for a long weekend to come to Dubai. He paid for my plane ticket, put me up in the Emirates Towers, and the rest is history. I came over here. Unfortunately, very shortly after I started working with him, he was in a very bad car accident, and the business closed down. And I thought about going back to the UK, and I was very close to going back to the UK. And I fell upon a couple of ladies who were setting up a real estate business here in Dubai, and Helen and Pauline. And they said, come and work for us. And so I did. and it was at a time when there was no physical properties finished or completed that you can buy. Everything was off plan. There were brochures, and I think we had the internet, and yes, we had email, but we didn't have maps, we didn't have Google, we didn't have iPads, we had nothing like that. So
you're selling dreams.
Always. I've been selling dreams all my life. If Porsche, Rolls-Royce, Bentley, and property in Dubai. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good analogy of what I've been doing. Yeah, exactly.
In the end of the day, we say a good sales advisor, he's selling emotions.
Yes.
And this is all what it is about.
Look, the thing about the cars that I used to sell is no one really needed them. They wanted them.
Yes.
I think property is a little bit different. People obviously need somewhere to live. And they need, and it's a good investment, obviously, buying property these days. So, for instance, it's not just a want; it's a need as well.
Absolutely,
so it's a little bit different, but similar process.
Yes, I say
keeping the dream alive, building relationships.
Yes, I
being
say
consistent
all the time. I said I could have the worst Ferrari sales guy because my dream was every time to having my own Ferrari. I guess if I would reach the point to afford it, I guess I could have the worst sales manager there inside.
Yes.
If he bring me the car, what I was dreaming for it, I would buy it. And
Absolutely.
I guess this is the most thing you have to understand, and you have to listen to people, what they're looking for, what they need, which problems there are, and what are their dreams. And I guess then it's very easy if you find such things to sell it to them.
Thing about car sales, and I think anybody who's been in car sales will agree, it's very process driven. So it's, they train people very well in car sales, and you go on a lot of sales courses and things like body language courses and that type of thing, where you really start to analyze the psyche of the buyer, etc., and the process. And it's a very simple process. It's not scientific in any way, but if you follow that process, and I say this to everybody that joins real estate, stick to the process, find out what the process is and stick to that. And it's the same with cars. So lots of similarities. That isn't really what you were asking me, but anyway, I went off on one.
Now my question is, I guess, which type of advantage gave you selling cars and entering the real estate market?
Well, apart from the process, which was very much it, I think also, the difference is obviously people go into a car showroom, they're pretty interested in that car. And I think you have to build a relationship really fast. And I think probably if I had a skill, that would be it. I make people feel at ease very quickly. And I get them to open up about what it is that they want. And then that's how I can help them. I need to understand exactly what their motivation is. Why do you want a 911? Why do you want a Cayenne, etc.? What is your requirements? And then it's like, okay, this is what I would suggest and recommend. And it's the same with property.
Knowing the product.
Yeah, it's about knowing the product to an extent, but I think it's a lot more about building relationships and really getting people to trust you in a very, very fast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's probably my skill. I'm not a great salesperson. I'm really not. I've seen people selling, and I've got some people at my office. They're amazing salespeople. They know all the right things to say. They can handle all the objections, etc. I think I'm a lot more about emotion, and I think, but more personal. I think that's what it is. Yeah.
This is already to come to my next question. You are 20 years here. We see Dubai. Everyone is talking about Dubai a lot. I had it in my previous podcast as well. Real estate agents are seeing, for example, Germany, we saw the big crash. We saw Europe is going down. So all the agents who are not getting successful more in his home country are thinking moving to Dubai, becoming the next millionaire real estate agents. I don't know how this vibe was coming to Europe or to the whole world, that all the real estate agents are getting rich here. I see most the opposite, that it's not turning a long time. A lot of agents are coming with a vision, don't know how to handle the clients, or not making any deals, and it's a 30 months coming and going. So how you could succeed and stay 20 years successful in
So
Dubai
if
real
you look
estate
at the
market.
statistics about the number of properties that are sold on a quarterly basis, and then you put that into how many people there are in the real estate registered brokers, we don't know about all the other people that aren't registered. Let's assume we're just working out. It's about the registered brokers are selling at the rate of one every 3 months. Now, I'm sure you're selling more than that, and I'm definitely selling more than that, as I know from my own experience. So there's some people who probably aren't selling for 6 months to a year to make those averages. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's a very tough business for people coming in here, and don't believe that the pavements are paved with gold, as they say. They aren't. It's hard work, it's perseverance, it's patience. And I think my success, as I say, I'm not a great salesperson, but I do build relationships quite well, and people trust me, probably because of my grey hair, and I'm very honest with people. I'll tell them whether I think they're making a mistake or not, etc., and whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. I think that. What did you ask me again? Sorry.
I asked you what let you succeed to stay 20 years.
So I think having been in the business now for such a long time, I've been in Dubai since 2003, so over 20 years, and then into real estate for 20 years now. I think I've been around long enough now that
that's
just
insane.
by default I'm ahead of the game. I think there's probably very, very few people who are still real estate agents who don't own companies or aren't doing something else, etc. There's very few here in Dubai that have been here as long as me. There's probably quite a few people that maybe have been real estate agents for longer than me, but actually been here in Dubai, and he's able to tell the story from almost day one of the property boom to the story now.
I guess you took everything
people
from not seeing the Burj Khalifa done till the crisis 2003, 4.
Yeah. I remember I was invited. Well, I think a lot of people were invited. I don't think it was anything special to the opening of the Burj Khalifa, the launch of the Burj Khalifa. And we sat there in the Burj Park. And at the time, it was being called the Burj Dubai.
Yeah.
That was the name. And that's when Sheikh Mohammed announced it was going to be the Burj Khalifa.
Yeah.
I remember it very well. It was a very cold night in winter. Yeah.
And a nice story as well, how they changed the name from Burj Dubai to Burj Khalifa. So there you see how strong the Middle Eastern countries are holding together.
Absolutely.
So it's very, very attractive.
Yeah.
So coming back into the Dubai real estate market. So seeing the Dubai real estate market all in all. So I'm not 20 years here into the Dubai real estate market. I'm as well few years here. So almost 10 years here in the Dubai real estate market. And I see in the beginning was pretty easy if you have an understanding about the master plan of Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, what he want to do with all the metro station, which type of areas he want to support, to find the gold nuggets, let's say, for the investors to enter in the cheapest price per square feet, and getting into that fix and or let's say to the flipping part.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing currently the flipping part very hard, to be honest, because I'm seeing by myself, if I reflecting me and an investor is asking me, Mario, what is now the best place to enter to get the 30, 40, 50% appreciation? What we saw, it was in the past realistic 3-4 years ago. But checking now the areas, there are so many areas almost developed. Which type of areas you are seeing still interested in the Dubai real estate market to say this is still a good time to enter and getting a good appreciation?
So, look, I think if you built a mud hut 3 or 4 years ago, you would have made money on it. Anything was making money in this market over the last 3 or 4 years. But I think we're starting to move into a more stable market. And I think also because of what's happening in the rest of the world, although there's a huge demand for people coming here, buying property, I still suspect that over the next 3 to 4 years, we will see, let's say, more of a settled market where it can't carry on at the rapid pace that it's been increasing over the since COVID. And I think what we're going to see is a lot of people will have bought properties in the market today or in the last couple of years that probably won't do anything like as well as they've done in the last few years, simply because I think the market is going to settle out. And I think also we are at I'm writing about this all the time. I'm talking to investors all the time about this potential oversupply situation. There are some very big developers at the moment who are building buildings where there are the majority of the apartments are studios and one-bedroom apartments. I did an analysis the other day, actually this morning on a particular building. I won't mention the developer. I won't mention anything about it, but 68% of the building is studios. I think 38%, is that right? Yeah, is one beds. And then less than, I think it was 0.8%, two beds and one beds. And then they've just announced another building, which is next door, where 60% of the building is studios. And you just think to yourself, okay, I understand why they're doing it, because they're very easy to sell for the developer. They're the best money earner for them. Easy to sell, quick to sell. All the agents out there love to sell them because there's far more people who have got a lower budget than there are people with a higher budget. So a lot of these agents that are coming to Dubai who are maybe untrained or inexperienced, it's very easy for them to sell a studio or a one bed rather than a 5-bedroom house in District 11. Do you know what I mean? In Meydan, which is 30, 50, 40 million. And there are a lot less people who can buy those District 11 villas. But I'm not suggesting that everybody should buy District 11 villas. I'm just saying that you have to be very careful when you're looking at the smaller ticket items, is to check out the scarcity of those buildings. So I think that when you talk about different areas, I'm looking at developers, construction companies that are involved, the layouts, the floor plans, the pricing, the value of that property, and how confident I am that this isn't going to be a building with 2,000 studios in it and 1,999 other landlords try to sell, or it just won't happen. It's an impossibility to be able to flip a studio where there's another 1,000 or 500 studios in the same building. You can't do it.
This is what I'm seeing and struggling currently. So just saying, for example, watching from all the developers, not talking just about one developer, currently the studio prices. So there was a lot of real estate gurus here who said, you have to purchase into off-plan properties because you're entering in a pre-launch price, the less price per square feet. You are in a totally new project. Everything is fine. I say, okay, all well and nice. It was like this 3-4 years ago. We got studio apartments. I love, for example, Iman, the developer.
So do I.
It's
one of my favorites by far.
It's amazing. So I know I purchased by myself Oxford Terraces 212, Oxford Terraces 1, Oxford Terraces 2. The studio price was 550,000 dirhams.
Selling now, what, 800, 900?
Checking now in JVC, or now they start with Motor City and all this type of other areas, entering with 750,000 starting price. 3 years. And then I'm saying, okay, but where it should end? Because if I'm entering now in JVC, let's just talk, for example, about JVC for 750,000, 780,000 for a studio. And there are so many units coming onto the market this year and next year who the people was purchasing it for 550, 560, 600. So then it's better to enter into a secondary market deal who I can get still from a good developer, a studio apartment or one bedroom, almost 15 to 20% cheaper than the off-plan property. And this is what is making me a little bit struggling to say where is the end, because the rental prices are fixed. So if you're looking now on JVC, and the rental, I have a rental section in my real estate company. So the normal studio rental price is 60,000 to 65,000 dirhams, depends if it's furnished or unfurnished. But the people are not getting it anymore because there's so much studios on JVC that people starting renting out 50,000, 53,000, 55,000. Still for the people who bought
That's
for
good return.
550, 600,000, it's a great return.
Yeah.
But for the people who's entering now with 780, 850, 900, they are going on a 4% yield if you're putting the service charge in. And this is what is giving me to think now to say, okay, where are the other areas? Because you have Business Bay, it's nice. You have downtown, it's nice. But this is all cities who already are, the infrastructure is built. You are not entering more in a cheap price per square feet. So that's why currently and I can say it openly, looking a little bit for the low budget clients when they're coming into Dubai land. I like Dubai land. I think it's...
You talk about the residential city or whatever it's called, yeah?
Exactly, because you are direct behind Maidan. You have the Al Habto Polo residence. You have the Al Dar Heaven. So on the first line, there are nice...
And the metro coming.
Yes, the blue line is coming. There are nice buildings, low-rise buildings facing on the villa community. And there's not so much supply because there's no new buildings, just old buildings. All the old buildings no one wants to live in.
The Messiah buildings.
Exactly.
So interestingly, I was involved with that Messiah building.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I have a bad history with that particular community simply because of those Messiah buildings where people were buying floors and literally 1 month later was selling for a 5% premium and they'd only put 5% down. So they were making great returns. I won't go into the company that were behind who were doing this, but if you do a bit of research, you'll know that it's someone who's still in the market, but he's just changed his company name. But yeah, there was a company based in JLT that we used to go to. We'd put our money down, literally wait a month and they'd resell it for you for a 5% premium. So, and then they hardly built some of those buildings, never even got built, the Messiah ones. But that was 2007, 2008 when things were bad. But there's some good developers now moving in there, like MTS and Leos, I think. Yes. I've not seen anything they've finished yet. But is Object One, are they there as well?
Object One is there. Yeah. I like them a lot. Object One, it's a very nice developer.
Yeah.
MTS, of course. You have, so in Dubai land, you have Leos, you have MTS, you have Object One, you have Prestige One.
Okay.
Who's currently building there. And I guess it's quite nice for the low budget clients.
Yes.
Just through the academic city as well.
Yes.
Because it's still in the master plan. A lot of student schools. I see it as well. I'm father of 2 kids.
Okay.
So every time I have to hold the areas, I have so much beautiful villa communities who I want to live in, but I can't just through the traffic.
Yeah.
So, and I guess for the students and for the teachers to be in a new building in Dubai land and near, not even 3 minutes away from the school, I guess you have a high potential to rent such units very quick and fast out.
Yeah, I keep meaning to have a closer look, to be honest. I need to go up there and really have a good look. Yeah. There's a park, I believe, up there, isn't there? Yeah. So, look, I think there's still mileage in JVC. I was one of the first agents to jump in with Ellington when they launched Belgravia 1. I sold a lot of properties in that building. And everybody that bought there has done incredibly well. And I've seen that in other Belgravia, Iman, etc. Their buildings have always been the best occupied, their best rental. They're very good for short term, those studios. We have a short-term management company and we're doing a lot of monthly rentals in anything from Oman or Ellington. And we have a team now in our company who is concentrating on JVC, JVT and Arjan, etc. And if they get anything from a Belgravia or an Oman, it's sold within days. It's very fast to sell, very fast to rent. Yep. And you get very good returns. It's difficult for me when I remember that JVC was always promoted as the very cheap. It was like 600 dirhams a square foot, etc. And we went, they're not going to build anything decent there. And they didn't for a while. But now there's a lot of very decent properties out there. And I don't think you should put them all into the same basket. And also, we've just seen this big announcement with the government on the RTA as to what they're going to be doing with JVC. So I think there's still some mileage. Strangely, I'm actually a really big fan of JVT.
Me too.
I've actually bought a couple of units there in the last couple of years myself. I bought a 2-bedroom and a 1-bedroom just recently. I'm planning to flip. Not to, because I don't really want the rental income yet. I still want to try and make some more capital. So I'm probably going to end up flipping. I think I've definitely done well with the 2-bed, which I bought about a year ago. I'm not sure the 1-bedroom plus study that I've just bought in the last couple of weeks. We'll see how that goes, but I think I've got it at a good price.
Yeah, there's this full Object One in JVT.
I haven't bought anything from Object One. In fact, I was texting people on the way here actually, because I'm trying to get to, they've got a building in JVC which has just been completed.
Yes.
And I'm trying to get in there so I can have a look and really understand what they're all about. I think their showroom, I think their sales process, I think it's fantastic. Their payment plans are good. But I'd like to see something finished. I want to feel confident, like I feel confident about Ellington and Imam.
Yeah, I was going to them. So by me was the same. So one of my criteria is I never sell a developer who I don't see the quality.
Yeah.
So, but they made villas and townhouses in Marbella and in Barcelona.
Oh, did they?
So I was traveling to Spain. I was checking the villas. I was checking the construction. And then I was confident enough to say, okay, they're doing something nice. Plus, I was on a construction site of them in JVC.
Okay.
So 1 month, I was almost weekly on the construction site, checking the process, checking the quality, how they construct. So I'm pretty confident. In the beginning, the first 2 projects was still with a sub-constructor. And now all the 3rd project and all the others, what they're currently building, it's in-house.
Yeah.
Yes. So you can expect and you will see a difference between the first 2 buildings who get now handed over in July and August to the buildings who get handed over in December and April.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Quick break to share some exciting news from DubaiView. Our boutique approach means we get exclusive first access to some of the Dubai's most remarkable properties. Just this month, we've added stunning new listings that aren't available anywhere else. Want to be first to know about these hidden gems? Visit our website for private consultation. Now, back to our conversation. So they're now coming back through flippings. So,
and people are making money?
Yes. How do you seeing it? For example, now, this is like my German calculation, let's say.
Right.
So currently, off-plan properties are increasing in prices. So if I'm purchasing 3 years ago, let's say a 1-bedroom apartment for 1 million dirhams. So I'm flipping it for 1.3 million. Checking now the current market, even if you're going into an off-plan section, we are between 1.180, 1.2, 1.3 million again for 1-bedroom apartment.
Yes.
How long I can still flip in a normal investment? I'm not talking for high luxury. We know the luxury segment is booming, and you can make a 2x, 3x. We're talking about, let's say, the 80% of the people with a budget between 500,000 euro till 1 million euro. So how long time we can still flip the properties if the prices are increasing there? Because if I'm calculating, I'm purchasing for 1 million, I'm flipping it for 1.3. Then I have to purchase again my next unit. So where is my profit if I have to enter again for 1.3?
Let me explain what I'm doing. I am flipping, but not flipping during construction. I'm waiting for completion. I'm paying it off. I'm furnishing the apartment. I'm putting on a short term. And then within 6 months to a year, I'm selling. So I'm selling a turnkey for the buyer because it's fully furnished. I am covering the costs of all the furniture with the rent I'm included. And I think by the time I want to sell, what should happen in that building is everybody else has either rented it, living in it, or sold it. So I'm going to be the last man standing with a most desirable property, and I'm only buying the best in the building that I can afford, the best of whatever it is in the building that I can afford. So, and that's my strategy. So, I am very wary when I speak to investors, and I do all the time because they've talked to another agent who said, buy this and you can flip it in 6 months or a year, etc. I have to tell everybody that I talk to, please don't buy anything that you cannot afford.
Yeah.
Don't buy multiple units and someone telling you can sell one and pay for the other 2, because that just doesn't work anymore. It used to work, and then it all came to a full stop in 2008, when the Lehman Brothers went down.
This is exactly as well something what I'm facing, or I'm thinking all the time, how we can secure us as real estate agent through such stupid let's say answers of the agents, because unfortunately we are here in a country who I say that a lot, not all, we have very good agents here in the market. We have agents like you who I'm looking off, and I like to speak and learn from them because they are very experienced and are one of the top 1% in the market. But we have as well a lot of people who's working for the interests of their money and not of the interest of the money of the clients. And this is giving, and I'm feeling it, a very bad reputation on the Dubai real estate market, who I hear as well from Germans. So we are mostly focusing with my real estate company, the European market, German, Austria, Switzerland, that if the lead is coming in, till you are closing it, it's passing 3-4 months. This is just building relationship, trust.
Definitely.
They are coming just through the bad reputation from other people who said, hey, they promised me, I just need the 20%. And this is as well the real, if I see you can afford that property with just 50,000 euro. Or I say, how is that possible? How? You need the second installment, you need the third installment, you need the fourth installment. How just 50,000 euro? And people are running into it and losing their money. And this is what it's making me sad, because I'm saying you as an agent have the biggest responsibility, because for people who save their money for lives, not everyone is rich. It's not
true that. What it's a terrible situation for the investor, but it's also a terrible situation for Dubai, because that person, when he loses his money, which inevitably he will, he's then going to tell everybody, yes, I lost my money, and Dubai is terrible, and they lied to me and cheated.
Exactly.
And if you look at it from a long term, yes, there's always fresh people coming to the market, and that's what these people thrive on. I thrive on referrals and repeat business.
Exactly.
It's much easier than trying to persuade someone else new to come into.
Absolutely.
And all of us are talking to people who are talking to multiple agents, for sure. I don't believe anybody I talk to is not talking to another agent. And it's just, look, it's very easy to say that property is bad, you shouldn't buy it. And I can give you a reason for probably every single property in Dubai. There's pros and cons. There's no perfect property. But these guys, it's for training, it's lack of experience. They're going into companies. These companies are basically, they're just churning people. Come in, sell to your family, sell to all your friends, low-hanging fruit, etc. Sell to them, just tell them anything, because they know that in 2 years' time, they won't be around when the property is even close to being delivered. They'll be gone. You look at all those developers, how they turn over their staff. The bad developers I'm talking about. We can't talk about who they are, but we know how. You go and talk to an agent of that developer, I guarantee in 6 months that person won't be there. And if he's good, he definitely won't be there. And if he's bad, he won't be there either. They're churning over people. They're employing people all the time.
I hope that we find a solution. So I'm as well into prop tech. So finding every time solutions, but I hope that there will be something who's protecting us against.
Do you know of anything that we can do? I mean, we can have a much stricter education system. We can, the government can be harder on people who are unethical, I guess, to an extent. There are these fines for cold calling. There's fines for people misleading on advertising, etc. But I think actually getting individual agents who are saying these things, and to an extent, even the developers are to blame, to be honest. I think there are some developers who are definitely to blame because that's the way they're pitching their product to the agents out there. Oh, you can get this much commission before they've even talked about the property. Do you know?
Absolutely. No, and I guess even the broker exam have to be much more regulated. So if I'm checking what we have to do in Germany to get the paragraph, by us it's paragraphs by law,
right?
To sell a property, how much we have to learn, and you have to go in a physical room who someone is a teacher, he's watching if you put your phone out. So you have to study for it. You have to understand the laws. You have to understand the rights. So it's much more controlled. And I guess this we have to put here as well, because in the end of the day, as a CEO of a real estate company, I put in visa, I give the labor card, I put the broker exam is coming. He just go it online to do it. He can use ChatGPT, asking and scanning all the questions, passed. You have a broker exam, but you don't know nothing about the Dubai real estate market. And the investors feeling secured, that's my BRN number. But if he was knowing that the real estate agent was making the test through ChatGPT and don't know the laws, ask one of the agents and say, hey, what happened if a developer have a delay? What happened if the developer is taking money into the developer account and don't have any escrow account and not providing on time the SPA or not providing the Okut on time? They don't even know that they can enter, they can exit, they get a cashback. All this information are not existing.
Maybe one of the answers is that everybody who comes into this market has to do rentals for 6 months or a year. That's how you learn the business.
This would be good, yes.
Yeah, you learn the business, you learn about Dubai, and you make money quite quickly. Yeah. You can do dodgy stuff when you're doing rentals, but more or less, there's the property, there's the tenant. Tenant knows all the laws, etc. And I think that might be. We certainly do that in Haus. Anybody that, even if they've been a real estate agent in the UK or in Europe, etc., we suggest that they start in rentals. If they're an experienced salesperson, they come to us, then yes, they go straight into sales. But actually,
sorry, I don't know how you're seeing it as a director of Haus Haus. Haus Haus is very well known. What I get, it's currently a little bit a bad touch of the expectation of the agents. So the agents are coming. They have so much expectation. We want that much commission split. We want that many leads. We want a car. We want a fixed seller. We want this. Who I'm saying, who I was coming here before my first 100 sales, what I did, I didn't had the balls to say in English, to go to my old CEO and asking him, can I get now 60% and not 50-50? And now they're entering with an expectation who the last time I said to all the agents, everyone is welcome to check all the other real estate companies, what they are doing, and you can go. But a good agent, and this is what I'm saying, to getting cold leads or leads and converting him to a buyer, then you can get a good commission out of it because you converted a lead to a buyer who purchased the sale. But if you see our structure, that the lead getting qualified, it's coming into a CRM system from us. The search profile get generated automatically. The brochures fitting to the search profile of the client, getting sent out. It's getting tracked by an email. It means if the lead who was applying for it, opening the brochure, automatically the AI is calling him, talking with him, setting an appointment, and the agent is getting a set appointment.
Is that what you're doing?
This is what we are doing.
Oh, wow. Is it working?
The shortest way, it's working. The shortest way, the agent don't have to get in touch more with the lead, don't have to make cold calls, don't have to send brochures. You get a hot lead. He's willing to buy. He passed all the steps. So the only thing what you have to do is clicking on the comments, checking the conversation between the AI bot with the client, checking the brochures, sorry, what was fitting to the search profile, building trust, convincing him, and purchasing the property.
Is this these AI bots? They work. They're good.
So my blessing is that we have our own IT team. So we build it, we teach it all by ourselves. It was taking us more than 12 months. It's really fantastic what current the AI is doing. I'm not such fan of an AI because I'm still saying selling have to be from a physical person. But to save time and reducing the time between people, by yourself, so many people are just putting their names inside, not going on the phone, saying, no, we didn't apply it for that. And it's a lot of waste of time. And this is what I say. I don't want that my agents are wasting their time. I want that my agents are finding listings and selling properties. And with that AI, we could filter that time out, who the investor knows and saying, okay, I'm talking now with AI, but a lot of people even don't know it. So in the end of the day, they didn't recognize that they was talking with AI. If you ask the AI how many properties you have, so he know from the listings what we have in our CRM system how many properties we have. So it's already smarter than an agent, because if I ask my agent how many properties we have in which area, he would not know it. Wait, I would check in the CRM system, I would tell it to you. So the AI is better than us, to be honest, talking. And then in the end, it's going to a Zoom call. You have a physical person and he's helping you. And this is what we are doing or creating currently the platform, because for me, it's as well time wasting if we're in such a fast market that we have groups with developers. And then a request is coming in. I have to ask the sales manager for the availability. The sales manager have to ask the CRM. The CRM is coming back to the manager to you, you to the investor. Till the deal is happening, the property is gone. It's sold. So now we started. So everyone, we are already online. We started, or we opened our own platform. It's from DubaiView. So there's everything inside. You can have a look from developer lexicon. How many developers are existing in the Dubai real estate market? How many years there are in the market? How many units and how many projects they developed? Then we have keyword facts, a lexicon just about what is a title deed, what is trustee office, what is off-plan, what is secondary, what is an escrow account. 483 keywords just through the Dubai real estate market, and questions from investors. Maybe they don't want to go directly with talking with an agent, who he gets such infos through our platform. As well, the lifestyle lexicon. Where are the German school? Where's the American school? What are family areas? What are not areas? And now we connect our API with the APIs with the developers. We are already with 3 developers online. So 1, it's already online. 2 are coming online in the next 2 weeks. So we have live listings. I don't have to ask more the manager, hey, which is availability, which unit, which floor, which layout, because you can go on our platform live, you see the developers, you can choose the developer what you like, you see the project, and you see what is sold and what is still available live. If they sell, it's going out of our platform. If some inventory is coming in, through a cancellation is coming in. Connecting this with the payment link of the developers, that even you can pay there, and putting the expression of interest there. So this is currently our vision, to make the market so fast and smart as possible, and so easy for the German and European investors for the market. So before going straight away to a developer. And this is giving as well a lot of time for the sales manager, because you don't have to bombard them anymore, because you can do everything by yourself.
Sure. Amazing.
Yes. But coming back now to you again, luxury market. We see the villa demand is not huge here in Dubai. So currently we have by 2%. How you see the luxury market, and as well the villa and master plan market for villa communities and townhouses?
I think it's very exciting, to be honest. I think we'd all rather just be selling big villas to people, of course, because that would be amazing. There isn't so much to know in that there aren't so many buildings. What is it last year? I think 90% of properties sold last year were apartments. No, 89%. I think it's 10% were townhouses, and less than 2% was villas. So it's less for us to know, which is good. The fact that I think the quality of communities that are coming up is so much better than we saw in the past. That's not to say there's anything wrong with some of the old villa communities. They're amazing. But now there's probably a lot more thoughts going into the facilities, the amenities, the plot sizes, and etc. I think, look, everybody's looking at Emaar Oasis at the moment, and what a great project that is. I'm just marvel every time when they're just about to launch another community there, or another selection of houses. I mean, who would have thought selling 15 to 20 million dirham houses overnight? Literally in hours, they're selling out. There are a couple of villa and townhouse communities in Dubai that do concern me. ones where I think they are from developers who are notoriously unreliable in terms of delivery times and quality levels. I think there are some fairly ambitious projects out there for some of the villa communities where I think we'll be waiting some time for them to get completed, because what they're suggesting they're going to do is just enormous. And again, I don't really want to go into names.
Yeah,
but,
I absolutely agree with you.
But
I guess all the agents in the market here, or investors who know the Dubai real estate market, know what we are meaning. I know in the end of the day, if you talk about one developer, what I guess you mean, and they have two so huge master communities, how many people you need to construct on time. So, and this is what I'm saying as well. But this is as well the marketing thing, who I say that as well, by law, you have to do this something, because it's becoming a trend to advertise with influencing people. They put Indian Bollywood stars saying they are the best, or one person payment plans, townhouse for just 2 million dirhams. So this is, they know exactly how to attract people to say, wow, we wanted to buy a house in Dubai, but we didn't have the money to purchase it for $2 million, $3 million. So here I can purchase it for 500,000 euros, and then they move forward, but they don't know which quality they will get, how long on delay they have to expect and wait. And this is
the problems they're going to have once they get the keys.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. That's why I'm saying every time before you're purchasing for 500,000 a townhouse, better investing it in a good developer into an apartment. You have much more from that.
I agree.
Yeah.
If it looks too good to be true, it probably is. Isn't that what they say?
Yes.
It's look, if you're trying to do the right thing as a real estate agent here in this market, it's incredibly difficult, because you're up against a lot of people who are not doing the right thing. And as I say, it's not just agents, it's also some developers out there who are, look, I keep saying this on when people are asking me, and I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, that everybody here is ultimately, we're here to make a living. We want to make some money. The investors want to make money. The agents want to make money, and the developers want to make money. But if you're totally focused on money, the likelihood is that you're going to deliver something which is not as good as it should be. And the analogy is that when people start in this business as real estate agents, if they focus on the money rather than on the process and doing the right thing, they're probably going to fail.
Yeah.
What I've discovered in my 20 years, if there's any lesson I've learned, is that if I stick to my process, I stick to the way that I want to do business, the money will come. And it comes in droves, by the way.
Yes.
It's really good.
Yes.
I can assure you. But that's because I'm maybe in the early days of property here, when we really didn't know what we were doing, I did a few bad things, simply because we were all inexperienced. We didn't really know what was going on. We believed the developers. We believed the government were going to control this. Unfortunately, it got out of hand in the sort of 2005, 2006, 2007. And a lot of people went by the wayside. Obviously, developers went out of business, etc. But I think since then, it's been very easy for an agent. You can go the route of just being a commission hunter and just go after the commission, or you can go down the route of doing the right thing. And I know that people that I work with predominantly are just doing the right thing. Yes, they need the money. They want to earn money. But at the same time, and I know this is, people say, what's Haus Haus all about? I've worked with companies where you sell a property and how much money you make is on the WhatsApp group the following day. Do you know what I mean? Congratulations, he's made this money in commission, or he's done this. That's a horrible environment to be in. And now it's Haus Haus. It's, well done, congratulations, he's sold a studio in JVC, or same congratulations, oh, he's sold a villa in Barari. It's the same amount of praise that goes on. So it's I know a lot of people probably won't believe this, and I think you may be one of those people where it's money will come as you just stick at it. Don't behave like so many of these agents.
No, you have to trust the process. And I'm saying it every time as well to other people. And this I will come to you about this back because it's fascinating me. 20 years in the market. If I'm not wrong, and I did my my study good, you sold almost more than $2 billion in the last.
Yeah, someone
20
told me
years.
that. I don't even. That just sounds like so much.
Yes,
I don't know.
That's a lot. That's a lot. So
No,
congratulations.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm look.
Yeah.
I think it might be a little bit of marketing going on there. I'm not entirely sure. It sounds like an awful lot to me, but I suppose it's possible.
No, but of course it's possible. It's realistic in 20 years if you're if you're a good agent.
Yeah,
and I know it. You did it, so you had multiply options to open your own real estate company. Why you didn't came to the point to say I open my own real estate company? And one thing, it's a smart decision because I was feeling it by myself, and building two brands because you are working under the roof of Haus Haus, still, but on social media you're branding yourself, what you're doing really good, and to combine this between personal brand and Haus Haus and being the associate director, what gave you this type of decision?
So I worked for a very small real estate company here in Dubai for some time. And the owner of that company decided he wanted to give up and move back to his country. So I was given the opportunity to take over the reins. And my ego got in the way rather than my sensible head. I should have joined Haus Haus at that moment. I was already talking to them about such a thing, well, chatting to Simon Baker anyway. But then I decided, you know what? I'm doing okay. I'm making good money. Let's go and run my own real estate company. I think I can do a better job, a good job. I did that, and it was the worst experience of my life. I hated almost every moment of it. The stress, the staff problems, the accounting problems, the rents, all the things, VAT that was introduced. All these things we had to manage. The visa costs. I ended up earning a hell of a lot less than I would have done as an agent because I had so many overheads.
Thank you.
And I would not recommend it. Haus Haus did a fantastic job, but if you talk to the owners of Haus Haus, they'll tell you they made no money for 6-7 years. They built a great company. They're making money now. So they've got it's a very well-run company, which is growing every day. But they had a hard life for 6 years. And I can tell you, if I hadn't run out of money, or in fact, thank God I did give up, because I gave up just before COVID. So COVID would have been the final nail in the coffin, as they say, to my business. But I gave up, and I went and worked for Haus Haus, and I did leave for a short period and went to work for another company, but I went back to Haus Haus. I think running your own company, it's got to be a special person, because for me, as I keep saying, I love sales. I love looking after my clients. I like all that relationship building. I like going around looking at developers and doing that. But give me a problem like, oh, I'm feeling sick, I can't come in today. Or, he said this, she said that, and, you need to sort it out. I hate all that.
And
Just
this is,
get
I
on with
guess,
it.
what a lot of people don't understand.
No.
And we was facing it as well. And I'm saying it every time. I say, believe me, guys, in my employment years, I made the double and the triple of the money what I'm doing now.
And you went home at the weekend and you didn't have to worry. You enjoyed yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And now you have to cover with your deals the costs, because everyone knows for coming back there, you have maybe 10%, they are the sharks. They're hunting, they're bringing the 2-3 deals per month, let's say. And then you have the people they're closing once every 4 months.
Sure.
But I will be the guy who have the big package of Property Find. I will be the guy who have the big package of Bayut. Every one of you guys want to have leads. So advertise leads. Each CEO who did this and know advertising in Europe know how much a cost per lead is.
Sure.
So these are all the fixed costs, office, and many, many more, visas. And now visas, we are by 8,500 dirham, 9,000 dirham. Do it by 30 people, 35 people. There are costs. So you're reaching on 2 million, 2.5 million dirhams per year, at least fixed cost. And if you don't have the agent who's bringing you the money with you to get it in, then it's my commission who's paying the 2.5 million dirhams, plus my lifestyle, what I have to carry about, and who I was alone, I did everything by myself. I know what I can do. I just have to take care of my clients. But now the agent's calling you, hey, Mario, I have that problem. How we can solve it. Hey, Mario, how is the regulation there? Hey, Mario, what's about the leads? Hey, Mario, we have a technical problem there. The admin is calling. This is calling. The clients are calling. You have to take care of the company. You have to take care of the accountant. You have to take care of the agents. And then you have to take care of your clients.
Not to mention legal costs as well. Some of these guys, when it goes wrong, they blame you.
Yeah.
Yes. You get legal cases.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you have to put money in the bank and to as security, etc.
Yes.
It's no, not for me. Yeah. My problem at the moment, if is there a problem, and it's a lovely problem to have, I'm just too busy. That's my problem. What a great problem to have. But like you mentioned AI. I'm actually working with this. I've just introduced on my website, I have an AI assistant now. It's stevenleckie.com/assistant. You can go in there and ask it anything. Look, I don't know how sophisticated, it's nothing like as sophisticated as you, but it's
amazing. It's taking you a lot of work out. The AI. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's brilliant. And we're doing other things as well, like qualification processes for people who visit my website. They'll be qualified, etc., using AI. They don't know it, but they will be, depending on their answers, how it all works out. And then they get to talk to me. I'm just too busy. And I want to spend as much time as possible. I'll give an example. I have a client who bought a villa from an email project a few weeks ago or a few months ago, and he hasn't signed the SBA. Immediately I finish this, I'm getting in my car, I'm going up to where he's staying, I'm picking him up and taking him to email. Yeah, I don't need to do this, but that's the kind of service I want to be able to provide. Now, if I'm inundated and running a company, I can't do things like that. That personal service that I want to do, and that's the bit I enjoy. Great, I get him in my car, we have a chat. You never know, he might buy another property.
Yes, totally agree. Totally agree. But this is exactly that what I said. We had 2 days ago the team meeting, and I said to my agents, how many of you guys know there are Ramadan offers? And some quite nice Ramadan offers, 4% DLD waiver, people who never give a 1-person payment plan from good developers. I'm talking not from someone who's giving 1 person. I made 4 deals in 1 week through existing clients who didn't notice, who said, hey, we would like to purchase end of the year because they need more savings to pay this 10% every 3 months or 6 months. But now they could afford through the 1-person payment plan from a good developer to purchase it now. So I took 4 deals out. I said, think a little bit out of the box.
Sure.
How many people of you was texting the old clients about this and saying, hey, now it's the holy months in the Middle East. They're giving nice offers, not just in real estate as well, by cars, purchasing cars. There's nice stuff. Do this. It's not about sitting, scrolling the fingers and waiting till a lead is coming in. So 80% have to be self-engagement. We have so many nice spots here. Even if you don't like play golf, go play golf, go on the yacht clubs. Catch your clients by yourself, because if I was waiting in my past for good leads, I almost would be back in Germany.
Well, I totally agree with you. I mean, I don't take leads from my company. I don't take any leads at all. I haven't done probably for about a year. And the reason for that is, okay, I get enough from my referrals and repeat business, etc., and something from social media. But those leads you're going to get, they're not going to buy today. It's very rare they're going to buy today. They might buy in 3, 6, 9 months, a year, 2 years' time. But they're fact finding at the moment. And yes, if you've got to keep that relationship going and keep it going. And that's hard work, and you've got to make 10, 20, 30 phone calls. But hey, we make good money. So it's worth it. But don't expect a lead to come in and sell them a property. It does happen occasionally. We used to call them parachutists in the car business. People who just landed in the showroom and said, I'd like that car. It happened once every 6 months. Maybe once a year for some people. And it's the same with property. It doesn't happen. You have to work at it, and you have to be patient, and you have to follow the process. And I have to keep repeating myself and telling people in every meeting, this is what you need to do.
Totally agree.
And it's boring for them. It's boring for me, but I'm living proof that it works.
Yeah.
I don't make cold calls anymore. I don't necessarily even following up with clients. I have very little time to do that. But I listen to what I say, not what I do, basically. I'm in a much better position having been doing this for a long time.
Yes,
so
absolutely, totally agree.
That's it.
Steven, thank you so much for the time. We end. Was a lot of questions, a lot of insights. I guess it will be a pretty nice podcast. And thank you for having you here.
I hope people found it interesting. I really do. We go off on talking about all these things. I wonder sometimes whether it's really that interesting, but there we go.
No, I guess there was very good insights inside.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.